Hi Donut, how you doing today or
Hi
tonight for
Craig, how
you?
you doing? It's been pretty good. It's been didn't get very much done today, but it happens.
Do you have any shows for the weekend or?
No, I had a show actually today. I think it's the 30th. Yeah, it was supposed to be today. It got canceled. Um, and then I'm playing in Portland on the 7th. I'm playing in Seattle on the 16th, and that's pretty much all the books, all the booking that we've got going on so far this year. We're
Okay.
working on building a tour out right now, but yeah, we're trying to get shows. It's cold right now. The whole music industry just kind of shuts down for those like
Hmm.
3, 4 months from, like November, end of November all the way to fucking February.
Yeah.
So
In terms of cold, it's freezing over there. I see on the news there you're getting like blizzards and up in the north. How
yeah,
is it
so
for you?
we actually live in one of the few parts of the country that aren't getting that.
Right.
Um, Even Los Angeles is getting blasted with cold weather, and I mean the coldest it's been here because I live in Oregon, so
Right.
it's nice and wet. Um, there's been a little bit of rain, but I mean, I think the coldest it's gotten is cold enough to frost, but not cold enough to freeze, right? So maybe
Hmm.
like 34, 35 at worst. So it's been, for most of the nights of the last week, I've been going out in my slides. So
So 2025 for you. Productive 2025 for you. You brought out a new album?
yeah, after the video came out, um, I guess the folks that I worked with for the first year, they seemed to be really marketing focused in like their profession. Um, so, they had this, how would you say, like how they would do it, where
Hmm.
it's like, okay, let's release a song every couple months. And I'm like, can we just put an album out? Like, what? Like, we have 5 songs recorded. Why don't we just go back into the studio instead of buying all this crap and just record it?
Yeah.
Um, and then, I mean, from December to like, golly, man, September or
Hmm.
so. I mean, pretty much when we got to Eugene, it was like me just in charge of the project. That's not good. Nobody wants me in charge of any projects.
So talk about the project, like talk about the video before that.
I mean, we were having this big fight, and she dropped me off somewhere outside of Cincinnati. Um, and she was gonna go see her kid, and I was gonna try to make some money, and we were gonna like calm down, separate, and then meet back up the next day or the day after. And um, I watch a lot of YouTube shorts. It's my favorite part of all of this is I watch a bunch of YouTube shorts. So at that time, for about a week or two, there was this trend on YouTube where people were just uploading Megamind clips from the
Right.
movie Megamind. And so I'm by myself. I'm not supposed to be drinking, but I have this. The only thing I want to do is I want to get not a bunch of beer. I just want to get some beer. I want to go in that bush and I want to watch Megamind and go to bed. That's it. So I asked this guy, I said, hey, I don't have an ID, but I have money. I just made money playing music. Will you go in there and buy me a beer
Mm.
or some beer? And he's like, well, play me a song. And then so he recorded that, which is not strange to me. Like that's not odd. People
Yeah.
record me from their car all the time. But when he put it on TikTok, so he put it on TikTok,
Mm.
and I woke up in the morning and my brother's messaging. He's like, "Hey man, you got 3 million, 4 million, 5 million views on TikTok," and I'm like, "Oh my god,
Wow.
I had like 3 people hitting me up." So then I go and I see the video, and right there in the video, text on screen, beer in the corner, and I'm just like, "Oh no, I've been so I've been so much trouble." Um, but I mean, it worked out at least for that first few months. Then, when I got here, really slowed down because I don't know how to social media. Like I didn't have a TikTok or an Instagram or a Snapchat. I didn't have any of it
Yeah.
when it all came out. So yeah, the next several months was me like learning. We missed a lot of opportunities because I didn't know that there was six inboxes in Instagram. Um, yeah, that was. Did you know that Empire Records hit you? No, I didn't. Did you know that Sony hit you? No, I had no clue. None.
Damn.
So eventually I got my partner involved. She's an absolute godsend. Definitely wouldn't be we wouldn't have kind of got a little bit of a what do you call it, like a rise, right? So I
Mm.
mean the engagement was just way down, the views were way down. We weren't really acting very successful. She got involved and kind of started showing me which directions I needed to go and kind of what things I needed to do. And that was one of the big goals. Was it was just like, look, what I tell people in the city of New Orleans mostly, but is if you go, you just do it, right?
Mm.
Just do it, right? You got three people that have an instrument, you're gonna make more money than one person with it. Just put it out, just do something, right? So like I said to myself, like, look, it doesn't matter to me if it I mean, it does matter to me a lot if it sounds great. I'm a perfectionist, but it's like at the end of the day, I just need an album to come out here to release. So I essentially for maybe I took most of the song, like 80% of the songs that I because I didn't write a lot of songs. It
Right.
takes me a long time. Um,
Why is
so
that?
for that,
Did you say that you're a perfectionist?
I'm just lazy and I'm a perfectionist.
Right.
I get really like I don't like I'm watching a movie and oh after this movie I'm gonna watch a YouTube video or I'm gonna go get some beer and nowhere in that is there. I should sit down and write some music. Like I have that thought, but then I never do. Um, so there's probably at the beginning over that let's call it 12 years, there were maybe 15 total songs written over that 10-year period.
Right.
Not all of them great, not all of them really kind of they wouldn't have fit on that album. Um, and so I chose the songs that were about, changing, were about becoming better. The songs that I wrote about how much I wasn't really a fan of myself, and kind of like who I wanted to be and what I wanted to be. And I guess, a lot of those, I like to think that that album is kind of like the story of my traveling, right? So like
Yeah.
I started, Ghost to You is the first song that I ever wrote. I honestly don't even remember if it's the first song on the album, but um, if I was looking at the track list right now, unfortunately, I'm terrible and I don't remember what it is. Um, it kind of just goes down the list of oh I started traveling, I learned all these things, I met all these people, I didn't know people did this, now I'm riding trains, I got my shoes stolen in New Orleans, right? Like
Right.
um and then come like the middle of the album I've been traveling for at least 2 years, 5 years, something like that.
Mm.
You know I've never been a junkie or a really big drug addict. I've had alcohol problems in the past, but I've done my fair share of intoxicants.
Mm.
But towards the middle of the album, there's songs like MDCC and Whiskey Drinking Martyr
Yes.
and yeah, just songs that were like I'm in the throes. Like now that I'm older and I'm looking back, that's why I put them in that order. It was because this song was written like I'm in the throes of being a crazy person. Like it's
Yes.
not great. So yeah, I think that I don't know. I think that it could have been better, and I'd like to re-record a lot of the songs on it. But I'm fairly happy with Heather's the only one that I don't know what happened. I don't
Right.
know why the version got changed, but it did, I guess. Um, yeah, but I'm relatively happy with it. People seem to enjoy it, and that makes me feel great about it.
Yeah, and a lot of the comments that I saw on there was that it's very personal, and you really, really open up where some of musicians don't like to do that. They're sort of singing about other things, but you really tell a really personal story. Is that easy for you, or is that something that comes through your music?
Uh, I recently read a David Bowie quote.
Mm,
Um, that he said, if you are, he's talking basically to artists, and he's like, if you are writing music, doing them, and you are not uncomfortable, then you need to go further. You need
mm,
to dig deeper, right? Like, so, a big part, I feel like a big part of writing music for me is I have emotional issues. And so, when they kind of take over and I'm upset and I'm depressed or I'm angry or I'm scared or anxious, like in a bad way, uh, you know, sometimes it'll just be a line, but a lot of times it's I'm upset or I'm angry or uh, like I said, sometimes it is just a line. Like I think Whiskey Drinking Martyr, actually, I don't remember writing that song specifically. Like I don't
right.
remember, not that I was like, oh, I was so drunk, I don't remember doing it. I just don't remember like where I was when I wrote it, but I do remember I'm a huge White Stripes fan,
Mm.
and Martyr for My Love for You. Every time I would listen to that song, I would be like, man, martyr is such a cool word. Like I just like the word martyr. I would love to have a song with the word martyr in it, and it came from there. Down in Mag was the same way. We're drinking in a park somewhere, and Matt, 1, 2, 3. And we're sitting there and I'm cracking another one that we just bought. And I look at the bottle and it's 750 milliliters. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3. Yo, we just drank a gallon of Mad Dog. Holy shit. Um, and my buddy there, he's like, on a Mad Dog. That's a song. That's a song right there. Um, yeah, so uh, it just wasn't ever like, I don't know. I would never in a million years put myself in the same room as like Tupac or uh I mean even like Kurt Cobain was just constantly creating art in whatever form he could. Just like the greats, the actual greats that just spend all day, every day. They live, breathe, eat, shit, art. That's just what they
Yes.
do. Um, and it was more of an outlet. So like so far, thus far in my life, it's mostly been an outlet. Um, but you know, there's no motivation like bills.
That's right.
So
Everybody's got it
um,
right.
that is, well, bills, and honestly, man, like the fact that like one of my it'll never happen, but it would be really cool if I was like walking down the street or I walked into a guitar center and there's someone, never met this person in my entire life, and they're playing my song. And
Yeah.
I always was like, that would be really cool. Probably will never happen. I mean, maybe with like some traveling kid might have heard my song from someone else or something like that, but like never something like that. And it's like, that's been one of the coolest parts as well. Um, is it's just the fact that people like it. It was like, I don't know, like I wrote those songs and they're important to me and I like them and I think they're great. But I
Mm.
was never like, oh, the world's got to hear this. They have to know. So
Yes.
it's pretty nuts to have, right now actually Australia is one of our biggest
Yeah.
sources of people that listen to the music is from Australia. Um, so like worldwide, England, Australia, Ukraine, Switzerland, actually, I want to say China, maybe even Singapore. No, Taiwan, not Singapore. There's like
Taiwan.
some Southeast and Central Asian countries. There's
Yeah.
some Middle Eastern countries on the, what is it? I can't remember what their streaming service is
Vietnam,
out there, but
Cambodia, Thailand,
something
Philippines.
like, yeah. Yeah. So
Excellent.
you're in Shanghai, China, is that right?
I am in Shanghai, China. Yes, and I was housemates and work colleague with our mutual friend Dylan.
Nice. Yeah, he mentioned you can tell when people have lived when they're American and they've lived outside of America before because they'll let you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
They'll let you know. Oh, he was great, man. He came over and had some equipment and actually really helped with the recording of the album. He kicked me down a couple microphones and a mic stand. Um, I haven't spoken to him in like since just before Christmas, but I mean, definitely he was really cool. Um, how
So
did I meet him? Oh, I met
was this
him.
in Portland
Sorry.
or LA?
I actually live in Eugene, so
Right.
just about hour and a half south of Portland.
And he's from there as well, and he will definitely let you know that he's from Eugene, Oregon as well. Very proud of where he comes from.
Yeah, yeah. He's a really nice guy, man.
What is it about that? Because I interviewed Marty Friedman last year at Megadeth. He had some connections there to Eugene, Oregon as well. So it must be a very musical town there.
I Well, I don't want to get in any trouble with anybody.
Okay.
Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Eugene.
Hmm.
It's not the place I'd like to be living. There's worse places for sure. I just think that like college towns are okay. This isn't a college, this is a university town, and university
Right.
towns are just exhausting. They're just exhausting. I think that the city council could be doing other things, spending their money on other things.
Mm.
I think that they could maybe be a little bit louder about not liking other things.
Like more spending money into the arts.
Yeah, or the community just in general.
Okay.
They build a lot of student housing, and I haven't confirmed this, but I seem to remember someone telling me that there's some like multimillionaire guy who is always at city councils getting stuff blocked, like homeless shelters and stuff like that, trees, parks, for buildings. But yeah, so it's definitely the university is a big draw for people. As far as music goes, the scene's kind of died down in the last 10 years.
Right.
A lot of the bigger bars, the venues that were kind of like established names here have been shutting down the last 5, 6 years. Um, but what's their name? Cherry Pop and Daddy. They're from here as well,
Okay.
so that
Yeah,
might
right.
have something to do with it. I know that Eugene, Oregon, definitely like into the early '90s and even into the early 2000s was definitely there was a lot going on around here,
Right.
um, and I think that that's just kind of slowed down. I I wonder if it had anything to do with legalizing weed, but I have no clue. I have no clue what did it, but um, honestly, I feel like a lot of places are kind of, except for like the bit like Nashville still has buku bars. New Orleans got buku venues, but there's a lot of places that they used to have a lot of stuff going on for them. The smaller towns like Eugene. Eugene only has 126,000 people,
Yeah.
130,000 people, something like
So it's
that.
only
It's not
small,
very
yeah.
big.
Right.
Yeah.
With your musical influence, you said David Bowie, you said Nirvana, the White Stripes. I don't really hear those influences in that new album you brought out, maybe. So, where does this acoustic, they said on uh, Spotify that it was Americana style. So, where is all this coming from?
Yeah. So man, I wanted to be Kurt Cobain.
Right.
I, I, I wanted to be him so bad when I was
Have you ever
16.
played in Seattle yet or
Sydney and Seattle? Oh, I love
Seattle?
Seattle.
Yeah,
I've
right.
played several shows in Seattle.
Right.
Um, and yeah, so I moved to New Orleans when I was 17 and I was still like trying to play like grunge, sludge
Right.
metal, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I had a band out there and I mean they were all into like Caius and DRI and Electric Wizard um and well when I started traveling it just wasn't I'm not gonna play.
Smells like Teen
Oh
Spirit.
sure. I don't ever play that song. That was the first song that came to head, but I don't ever play that song. Sure, I would not play that song on an acoustic.
Yeah.
Like never. That would never happen. But all the people that I was kind of meeting and hanging around with at that time, they were all like, I didn't know that people rode trains and hitchhiked and lived in backpacks. I thought that was done with. Like the only people that did that were hippies in California who lived in their van, right?
Right.
Like that's what I thought. I got to New Orleans and it was like, oh, dang, that's crazy. So I'm there all, playing banjos and folk punk and
Yeah.
listening to Days and Days and Devil Makes Three and uh well, we all made fun of Johnny Obo, but um uh the Devil Makes Three really was the one that was like, I like them. I like the way that this sounds. And like um I had already been kind of uh like I said, like the White Stripes and Nirvana. I mean, at the time, Sublime was a big influence for me as well, but that kind of
Yes.
faded over time. The Jack White and Kurt and Dave, honestly, all still remained huge, uh, not just like art influences, but like I mean, I the rasp in my voice comes from singing Nirvana songs and
Right.
and and Clutch songs and Melvin songs and stuff. Um, and then um, I wouldn't say that I like try to sound like the White Stripes, or honestly, Jack White is probably more accurate than the White Stripes because it's when I say the White Stripes, my brain includes the Raconteurs in that statement,
Mm.
even though they're not the same. Um, and yeah, so this kind of like this almost like fusion of like I don't even know how to describe what they do. Is like poppy Americana mixed with like old kind of blues structures that really just hits. And the way that Jack plays his little toy guitars is just iconic.
Yes.
Um, so when I took all of that and I'm this little like Kurt Cobain reincarnated wannabe, playing Johnny Cash on in the French Quarter, and you add in, well, now what would that sound like with a banjo, right? Or like so I did learn how to play the banjo and I was started learning like different. I started picking up. I always hated country, and then I started listening to The Devil Makes Three and
Mm.
realized that there's so much country that is so good.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so it's just kind of like I the song that keeps popping into my head right this moment is Carolina Drama. I don't know if you're
Mm.
familiar with that song or the
No.
Raconteurs, but um really like there's a lot of like slide guitar work going on. It's very melodic, but it's this
Right.
very basic, basic chord progression. It's like four chords just to walk down. Um, and I love that he could do that. I mean,
Yeah.
Seven Nation Army is just one clip, and it was a smash hit. It was simple. It was so simple that you could digest it. You could guess what's going to come next. You don't, but yet you're still surprised at
Yes.
the end of it. Um, and I think that it was never, I don't think, intentional. Like I don't think I ever sat down with a notepad and was like, I'm going to write this basic this and I'm not like that deep of an artist. I try to be deep, but I think that is kind of subconsciously what happened with a lot of those songs. So I call them simple, and then I play them, and people are like, "Oh my God, slow down!" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's four chords, and I'm like I'm just like I'm just doing a little. I'm cheating. I don't know actually how to play the guitar, bro. Like,
Yes.
calm down." Um, yes, I mean, as I grew, like I still to this day, I'm like, I mean, Jack White, Kurt Cobain, Devil Makes Three. The Black Keys are on that list too.
Mm.
Um,
You should listen to an Australian guy does some amazing slide and acoustic performances. Dave Stone, his name is. I'll send you through the link
Okay,
after this.
absolutely. Yeah, please do.
Dave Stone, yeah, Australian. He's living here in Shanghai also. Actually, I'm not sure if he's still living here, but um, he's in between Sanya and Shanghai in China. So he told me that he just come back from a European leg, and he's going back to Australia to do his finish his next album. So I think
Rock and
you
roll.
guys would be really, really cool to
I've been
collaborate.
busting it, man. I came across a video of me playing in like 22. I had just finished writing a song. I came across a video and I made it like 15 seconds of video, and I was so good. I was so good. What happened? Oh my God. Um,
You mentioned New Orleans. I still haven't been there yet, and I really want to just go there and just get the vibe and just go to as many shows, like not just big shows, but like to go into a bar and just watch people
like some local
play.
bands. Yeah.
Yeah. Up and coming bands. So for you, what was the draw for you to go to New Orleans?
I actually, I had a friend that was from that I knew was very small, up in Huntsville, Alabama. And when I was 17, I got kicked out. Well, I got kicked out, and then I got kicked out, and then I got kicked out again between like two different between my two parents. And so the last time that I got kicked out, it was like you kicked out. Like you're not going to your mom's house. Like that's up to you, right? Like you're emancipated. Be free.
Mm.
Um, and I tried kind of floating there in Birmingham for a little bit, and it just wasn't working out. And this was like pre-homeless too. So like homeless was still a scary, sad, depressing thing. Um, and so yeah, I mean they were actually on their way up to Huntsville to see a punk show. I went with them. They cleared it with my parents that I was good to go down there. And then once I got down there, it was like whoa, whoa. I started drinking there, unfortunately, because it just literally pours out of the trash cans in New Orleans, and dirty kids are all going up and down Bourbon, fishing drinks out the trash. I was like, wait, hold on. You can get drunk out of the trash can here? That's what? Oh my goodness gracious. Um, yeah, so that's what kind of led me into traveling was then I got a little bit ridiculous in the house, and they were like, nah. And I was like, okay, cool. So I like hung out in the square for like a week after that. This was like late September, something like that, 2012, I think. And I was out in the square for like a week. Met some guy and his kid. They were like, "Yeah, we're from California. We're gonna go back out there in an RV. You want to come make thousands of dollars?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I got ditched in Texas. um, but man, New Orleans is really just it's its own place. Have you ever been to St. Augustine, Florida?
You mentioned Alabama. I actually was there. Long story, but I actually saw Journey playing Alabama.
I've
Um,
I, I've heard that I'm supposed to say I'm sorry about that.
yeah, that was unfortunate trip, but
I
all
can't
good.
remember. Is it Journey or well, one of them, Journey or Boston. I don't remember which one. My dad used to talk about having seen them a couple times, and he was like, they just don't sound good live.
Hmm.
Like you listen to their, I think it might have actually been Boston. I think it might have
Yeah,
actually been Boston.
yeah, Journey. Actually, it was really good. Yeah, like,
Well, that's good to
and
hear.
but that was a very interesting day, I tell you. I got to meet Don King in Miami when we drove to Alabama. It was a gas station, and they had jobs out the front there for 100,000 to be a manager. And I was like, I'm gonna move to Alabama to be working at a
Oh
gas station. I
my
can't
God, work
remember
at the
what it,
Cigno.
the manager of Journey was saying. No, we've got to stop in here. I've got to show you this place. Yeah,
Was it huge?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it was
when was this?
2 years ago, like the
Oh,
start of 2024.
it was probably a Bucky's.
Bucky's, that's it. Yes. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the one.
I hate to love Bucky's.
And yeah, out the front it said like be a manager for 100,000 US after tax, and it's like, oh my God, that's incredible. So I don't know too much more about Bucky's, but it actually tempted me to come back and work there for that much money to work at a gas station.
I was gonna say St. Augustine, Florida, is obviously Spanish, right?
Right.
And they still have like the downtown St. Augustine is a pedestrian zone. Like there's no cars. They still have the wall of the city from like when it was a Spanish colony. And walking through downtown St. Augustine, man, it doesn't even feel like I'm in the country. Like
Mm.
I've never really been out of. I went to Juarez one time in Mexico, which barely counts because it's just the border town for El Paso. But that was enough for them to have like that bazaar, right? That like street market or bazaar, um, which just doesn't exist. And if there's just like the farmers market is the closest thing Americans have to a true like street market.
Mm.
Um, St. Augustine's got that shit. New Orleans has that. So it's just like I don't know what it is about like those are the only two cities coming to my head right now, but they just do not feel like they are American cities at all. Like
Mm.
aesthetically, I mean, I'm sure living there feels very American. New Orleans for sure, but yeah, I definitely recommend going to New Orleans if you've never been. It's kind of especially if you talk to people that have been there since before Katrina. I was a little young in New Orleans to know, um, but uh, you talk to them and it's oh things are changing and stuff sucks now and it's like yeah okay they're not wrong. Uh, Jeans Po Boy is gone. Streetcar goes up to Elysian. Everything's different. Cops suck. But it's still at least the last time I was there was 22 and it was still very much New Orleans.
Yeah.
um, yeah,
And that's
we have
what.
a joke and among train kids in New Orleans where it's like yeah you'll be hanging out with your friend for like a week getting drunk and then like I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm done with this place. I can't stop. I've got my food. I'm going to the hop out. I'm going to catch a train. And we're like, okay, man, we'll see you in a couple days when you run out of booze. You see him walking back. I have been on the other side of this myself, where you see your friend walking back up like 3 days later on Esplanade, and they just have all their shit, and they're just like, I ran out of food. And we're like, yep, we knew it. Uh, it's fun, man. It's a fun place to be for sure.
How about Alabama? You grew up there?
I
What?
was kind of a shut-in when I grew up, but yeah, I grew up in Birmingham and in Meridian, Mississippi. Well, outside of Birmingham and in Meridian.
I did cocaine in Memphis, Tennessee, underneath the ghost of Elvis Presley. And no, it didn't do a goddamn thing for me, except make me wanna go and do more. It's a habit that I like to abuse after a long, hard day of being misused. My socks are gone, somebody stole my shoes, and now my feet are cracked and blistered and sore. Grab me up another needle and spoon, I'll be there soon, up there with you. Take me what you think I should do. hard to think about when all I think about is you. She was the circumstance that I could not surpass. All my viable solutions must have truly sounded crass. When I stood up on my feet, I fell back down on my ass just to see I'm sick, twisted to the core. It's something I don't know how to explain. How this parasite inside me's rearranging my entire brain. I swear sometimes I feel as though I'm going insane. Then I see I really only wanted more. Looks like I dug this hole I'm in too soon. Ain't got no moon to light this road that I've been traveling blue. I've been stuck here with these folks that I knew, who left their ghosts behind to show me how to smile when I'm thinking of you. Hey, where these ghosts of you? Hey, where these ghosts of you?
That's what I guess what music is all about. Like you can just forget about all those headlines in the news and just go and watch a band play and
Yeah, it's been rough over here.
yeah. And especially in America as well. Every time I turn the TV on, it's like something's happened over there. Or,
We've
yeah.
actually been waiting in Eugene last year in October. I think I had a show up in Portland, and I had a show in Seattle and in Portland. Um, and I stopped in Portland for like a couple days uh, to run down to the ICE protest there. Um, which, if you turn on the TV,
Yeah.
the TV is going to tell you that everything is burning down and everyone's trying to kill everybody, and it's like, nah. There's only one group of people trying to kill everybody right now, man. Um, and it's not those guys.
Yeah.
It's not those guys huddled around a campfire on the sidewalk, I promise.
So they have come to Portland, have they?
No, yeah, that Portland was in the national spotlight for a couple months
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
summer.
right.
They started
Right.
going out there.
Now
And so
that
since that happened in Eugene, we've just been kind of like, looking out, uh,
yeah.
keeping our eye on stuff, and that's starting to pop off now in Eugene. Like they just beat up some old lady the other night and
Ah, that's
arrested a
terrible.
bunch of rest. Oh yeah, dude, arrested a bunch, dragged one girl by her face into this facility and locked her in a room. And fucking me and my partner are both like, well, we have a baby right now. We have an 8 month old, so it's
Oh,
like, yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. It's something that both of us like. We both believe pretty strongly in not that and being at least part of we want to help, we want to be a part, we want to be out there, we want to represent, we want to show our faces and make add our voices. And it
Yes.
could be difficult, right, with an 8-year-old or 8 month old. And so she was going to go down this weekend, and then probably switch out. I was going to go down this weekend too.
Mm.
It's been pretty nuts. I don't know. Like I know that like you're in China, and I feel like I guess I can't speak from the Chinese perspective here, but I know that from at least the American perspective, it's not. I don't think that it's something that's very accurately reported on very often. Like I'm not saying that the
No.
Chinese Party or the Communist Party of
Communist
China.
Party. Yeah.
Um, I'm not saying that they're great. That's
Mm.
not that's not what I'm saying.
No.
But what what we hear here in America is mostly nothing. And when you do hear something, it's not great.
It's bad. The same with the
Uh,
Australian media, mate. That's all they hear, the bad stuff. And don't get me started with the COVID as well. In that period, all it was every day when I was back at home, they're like China this, China that, and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. And I just got sick of it, and I just stopped listening to the news and the media because they're only giving
I'm upset.
one side of the story. So,
Yeah, I'm
um,
upset with them.
mm,
They, I took enough journalism in high school and to know that like the reality is your job,
yeah,
right? And so if someone is being an insane person, like it's your job to say, "Hey, dude, that thing that you just said, that's fucking crazy." Like, you want to elaborate on that? No, cool. Like the way that you see reporters in TV shows and movies.
mm,
Like, I know that they're like scum of the earth, fucking reporters, but it's like that's their job. That's
yes,
what they do, and they're not doing that. Well, there's very few reporters that actually do. I get mad at the news all the time. I can't watch it for very long.
yeah. Work
What brought you
for
there, if you don't mind me asking?
so it was the same school with Dylan. So it was an online company, and they had a license to go into public schools and to sell the online product. And we would go to different cities around China. It was just like you with the music, only we were just teaching English. I'd bring my guitar and I'd put my sunglasses on, and I was a rock star. That I'd be
Right.
signing autographs, and it's the first time that actually saw a foreigner. So they were touching my
Yeah.
hair. It was like I was a Martian. But the experience, and you can ask Dylan as well. That's something that not too many people will ever have that experience again. And we traveled all over China. It was just a uh, amazing
I'd love,
experience.
I'd love to
Yeah.
get it. I was at a hostel in LA a couple weeks ago, and I ran it. There were so many Australians there. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. There was like
We like
eight
to travel.
Australians there.
We like to travel.
I I felt super great, by the way. Just tangent here. My one of, if probably my favorite accent on planet Earth is New Zealand and Kiwi.
Right.
Um, but even though it's my favorite, I'm better than most people, maybe. But like, it still can be hard in the moment to say, "Oh, you're not an Australian," right? Like, so one of them, I was like listening to her talk, and I said, "Hey, I don't know if this is I don't know if this is an insulting question, but New Zealand, right? Like, you're from New Zealand?" She's like, "No, I'm from Kiwi, but good ear." It's like, oh, okay, rock and roll. Um, the one dude, there were two. There was a guy from Edmonton, Canada, and there was a guy that we were all hanging out with from Australia. And they were talking about Americans traveling and how they don't often see Americans traveling. And when they do see Americans traveling, it's like their first time
Mm.
going out into the world. And they're like, I don't get why Americans do that. And I, as an American, was like, well, uh, most of us are dirt poor and
Mm.
don't actually have the time and cannot do that. Like, and
And
they're
you
like,
only
that's a bad mindset. That's just a negative mindset. And I'm like, no,
no reality.
that's reality, bro. That's what's happening. You asked the question. I don't know what to tell you.
Uh,
Like,
no,
I've been in,
I totally
I've never had a
understand.
passport.
And don't you have only 2 weeks in the year? I don't know if that's changed, but like a full-time worker, a 40-hour day worker, only gets two weeks annual leave. Is that true?
I don't think it's certainly not as set in stone as
Mm.
that. But I mean that's pretty average. That's pretty common, right?
But,
Like, and
but
2 weeks, like that's what I don't know that people like the two guys I was talking about. That I don't think they get it. Two
mm,
weeks is
not a lot.
it, it, it is a lot.
Mm.
Like, you're lucky to get 2 weeks vacation
Yeah,
time,
right.
right? Like
Mm.
like and have them actually give it to you. They will fight you
Yeah,
for
right.
that 2 weeks vacation time a lot of the time.